Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. How do you get to be a success with bariatric surgery? Well, I think they set the bar too low, but what they say is if you lose 60% of your goal weight, you're a success. So when I had bariatric surgery, I started off near 300 pounds, got down to 240. I'm a success. And frankly, I felt pretty good. I mean, being somewhere between 235, 240 pounds, having a waist drop from a 44-inch waist to 38-ish or so, that felt pretty darn good. I mean, I didn't need a seatbelt extender. I had a whole new outlook on life. I was feeling for me, relatively speaking, in my adult life, that was about the smallest I'd been, and I was pretty excited about it. But roughly 2 years later, I slowly but surely noticed the scale starting to go back up, and I was up to about 244, and realized that something needed to change. And then I found out about metabolic syndrome, which is a collection of 5 different markers to see if you're metabolically healthy. They include your waist circumference, and I was inching up close to where I was getting over that. My blood pressure was still high. My triglycerides were sky high. My HDL was still low, and I'm not quite sure what my fasting glucose level was, but it probably wasn't all that great either. So I was still metabolically unhealthy, despite the fact that I was eating a pretty clean diet. I mean, it was an American, I didn't eat a lot of processed food. I was eating whole grains. I thought I was doing things correctly, at least according to the food pyramid, according to my government. And then I ran across these guys talking about keto. And after about 3 months of studying, I realized that if I wanted to reverse that metabolic syndrome, I was going to have to get rid of the carbs. And so I reduced my carb intake down to about 20 grams per day, basically with just regular vegetables and meat and pure food. And the results were pretty spectacular. I dropped about an additional 20 some odd pounds and reversed my metabolic syndrome. And for the first time in my adult life, I was probably metabolically healthy. So even though you may have weight loss, you may not be gaining the right type of weight loss. See, what are you losing? And very few of us track how much lean tissue we're actually losing too. There's a recent study that came out that showed that elderly people that lose weight can run the risk of dying, that it was actually a bad marker. And they didn't break it down. They didn't look into what was the difference. Were they losing lean tissue or fat? And frankly, I think most of them were losing lean tissue, which means muscle loss. See, there's a lot of people that lose muscle loss. They lose muscle and they see it on the scale as weight loss and they think they're doing good. But if you're just keeping your fat but you're losing your muscle, you're actually harming your health. Your muscle is what burns off excess glucose. It's what you need. If you want to live a good, healthy, older life, you need as much lean tissue as you possibly can get. So the more muscle you have, the stronger you are, the better off you are going into old age. So here I was pushing into my 50s, upper 50s, and frankly, I wasn't getting stronger. And one of the reasons why so many older people lose muscle mass is their bodies do not absorb protein like they used to. As you start moving into your 50s, into your 60s, your ability to be able to absorb protein from your food goes down. Unfortunately, if you go to a nursing home, they're going to start feeding you more carbs because they have to follow the American guidelines, the American Dietetics Association guidelines of what the federal government tells them if they take money for food subsidies for the elderly patients, which means they have to follow those guidelines, which is going to be a low protein diet. Frankly, at the wrong time in life, you need as much protein as you can possibly get. The more, the better. Preferably protein that comes from meat. The nice thing about meat is it is perfectly balanced between fat and protein, and you need to get the right ratio in order for the body to be able to absorb the maximum amount of protein. So I've stumbled into the right diet at the right time. I found basically the dietary Rosetta Stone. I probably could have gotten away with a standard American diet a good hunk of my youth, but at some point the body changes, and when you start gaining weight, start really looking hard at keto, hard at going carnivore. Some people say it's unsustainable, but really for the last 5 years, that's what I've eaten, and I think it's completely sustainable. I wouldn't go back any other way. So take a look at these diets, and frankly, by the way, the way, Weight Watchers and the way they try to teach you to eat, with semi-starvation, to me, that is not sustainable. I can't lose weight and keep it off. Every time I try to do a starvation diet, I end up gaining it back even faster than I did after bariatric surgery. So if you want to keep the weight off and you want to be a real success, take a look at keto, take a look at carnivore. These are the ways I think that probably will give you the most long-term success and help keep you out of that 50% of people that gain all their weight back after bariatric surgery. And if you like this channel, if you like this message, if you want to hear more like it, please hit the like and subscribe button. The more people we get into this, the more people we get in this tribe, the more the message will be heard and shared with other people. Remember, in this fight for our health, in this fight for weight loss, we're all alone in this fight. But together with this channel, we can all be alone in this together. And if you're one of those people that gained weight for a while after your bariatric surgery and you switch to a keto or carnivore diet, please share a comment below. That helps other people know that it's not just me, but there are other people that have experienced the same thing. Until tomorrow, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. We'll talk to you then.